So I wanted to give you guys a little help today on some of your homework. And I had some requests for a couple problems, so I'm going to tackle those. So in 6.14, we're talking about the work done by a system. And we have to remember the total energy is equal to the heat plus the work done by the system. Okay, so in these, we have different phase changes. For example, liquid to gas, or changing number of moles, things like that. And really, our work term comes into our work is equal to the pressure times the delta V. Okay, the pressure in these we can assume to be constant. And so what we're really interested in is the delta V associated with any of these changes. Okay, so the work, if the work for work done by the system, hold on. If work is done by the system, then work is negative. Right? Work is negative. That is, the sign is negative. Okay. So if you have a positive change in volume, that is, if the volume goes up, the system will do work, and that you can think of that. The reason that's negative is because the system is losing energy by doing work. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go through a couple of these and hopefully you can finish the rest on your own. So if we look at part A, we have mercury going from a liquid form to mercury vapor. All right, and you wouldn't want to be around when this happens. Mercury vapor is quite toxic. So if you go from a liquid to a gas, all right, in this case you're going to have delta V is positive. All right, and this means that the system is going to do work. That is, if we have our little piston here in a chamber, and this is a really ugly one, but let's say here we have our liquid mercury. If this expands into gas, right, that piston will be pushed up. The system will have done work. So now we have our vapor of mercury. The system will have done work, and therefore the sign of the work will be negative. Okay, but what they're really asking is the work done by the system? So in this case, the work would be done by the system. Okay. All right, and therefore this work term would be negative. Okay, the sign of the work term would be negative. All right, so if we move on to part B, here we have oxygen gas going to, you may not know what this is, but this is ozone. Okay, also a gas. This is the gas in the atmosphere that blocks a lot of the UV light. The ozone hole over Antarctica is caused by reactions with chemicals in the environment that destroy ozone. It's a big problem. It means more UV light hits Antarctica, helping contribute to the melting of the ice sheets. But anyway, back to this. In this case, we have gas to gas. Okay, so we don't have a phase change. But what we do have is we are going from 3 moles of gas to 2 moles of gas. Okay, so in this case, we have our piston again, right? And you don't have to think of this way, it just helps me. So you have your O2 here, your 3 moles of oxygen here. And in order to convert this into ozone, the surroundings have to do work. That is, the surroundings, you have to put pressure into the system. You have to decrease the volume in order to get this conversion into ozone. Okay, so in this case, the work is done by the surroundings. All right, and that means that, so here we have a negative delta V, therefore our work, the sign of the work is positive. Because you can think of this, the reason that's positive is right, remember energy equals Q, the heat plus the work. The system is gaining energy, all right, by this outside pressure, and therefore the sign of the work is positive, and the system is gaining energy. Okay, I hope that helps. Hope you can finish the rest of these. I'm gonna make another one of these and get it out to you soon.